Well, hello, everybody. It is my privilege and my honor to be with you here today and to show you two of the amazing, fantastic, and impactful game-based solutions that we've helped to create alongside and in partnership with the Academy of Executive Coaching. Before I show you the games, what I should tell you is that both of these solutions are created and designed with advanced game mechanics in mind, which are used to trigger key human needs and drivers. They'll show up in a couple different ways. They'll trigger strong emotional responses. Users will be fully immersed within the training experience, and we'll see how it instills an urge to master, which drives repetitions and learning overall. Now, the first solution we're going to take a look at is what's called the Introduction to Coaching Skills game-based solution. This is a mobile first solution. So normally I'd have a phone in your hand and you'd be able to play alongside with me. But today we're going to go ahead and use my desktop screen to go ahead and show this one to you today. Now, these are addictively fun, feature-rich simulations which are designed for closing knowledge gaps and learning specific skills. We use a whole host of engaging mini games and challenges, and we typically see that users will repeat modules many times over, resulting in a really high learning effect. In addition to that, we also encourage friendly competition through the use of our leaderboards and points, which you'll see in just a moment's time. So to draw your attention to the screen before you, this is our profile page where you see your avatar and your name. You also see a couple stats here, how many modules you've certified in out of the total 10 that are available, how many stars you've achieved within the 50 that you can get, and your total points as well. Towards the bottom of the page is also a very nice welcome from the AoEC team. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into this and see what we have here. Our very first view is what we call the map view. Now this will show you the different modules that are available to your users throughout this particular training program. And like I said before, there's 10 modules in total, but the module that I want to show you today is one of the very first learning topics, which is called listening. So as we open up that module, you'll see we've got a really snappy explanation as to what we're about to get into. We've got a quote from the Dalai Lama and a further explanation as to what the game is about to teach us.
One of the core skills of coaching is knowing how to listen.
So one thing that we know at Attensi is that end users absolutely love narratives. They love engaging stories, they love characters, which is why we have Ava, our character here, show up at this point in time. This won't be the only time that she shows up. She'll continue to be up on the screen throughout different modules just to be that nice red thread throughout the entire learning journey for us. But this first comment here is around the core skill of coaching, which is known as listen. Now, I think what she's trying to teach us is how to listen. So the answer I'm going to select for this first one is this top answer, which is listen, and let's see what happens.
You learn fast. Listening is about staying present and being focused on the coachee, giving them the time and space they need to express themselves, even when you want to say something. Sometimes it can be uncomfortable, but it's one of the most important things you can learn as a coach. Here are some tips that will turn a good listener into a great listener.
Now you'll notice that Ava then comments on our answer, gives us a little bit more context, and then sets us up for our very first mini game. So let's take a look at that. The first game that we encounter here is what's known as Choice Chain. So we're presented with a question towards the top third of your screen. It says, before a coaching conversation, how might you best prepare your own mind? And we've got a set of answers that we can choose from. Either one on the left where it says turn your phone off, and the other on the right which says set your phone to silent. And what I want to bring about now at this stage is letting you know that both answers can seem as if they're correct. We don't have one that's overtly incorrect or one that's completely off the wall. And that's by design. We want to challenge our end users. We want to make sure that the learning that we provide is something that's embedded in their knowledge and ongoing over time. So I'm going to go ahead and select turn off your phone. Excellent. And we see that is the correct answer. You get the visual cue of the selection turning green. We also have the green check mark right next to it. And now we're presented with our next set of questions. We can either arrive at the room early or we can arrive at the room on time. Now, I think the correct answer is arrive at the room early, but let's go ahead and select the incorrect answer just to see what happens when we do that. Ooh. Now, notice what happens in your mind and in your body when that negative sound comes on. and the tab turns gray instead of green. Now, this taps into the instinctive part of our brain and what's known as the danger response, which is cued by visual surprises or negative noises, which really cause an end user to want to go back and repeat the training to get everything correct. But for now, let's go ahead and continue on with this mini game. The next two set of answers is come straight from a busy meeting or schedule some alone time before the start. So let's schedule some alone time. And then the last set of questions here is promise yourself not to look at your emails or messages or set your online status to do not disturb. So let's select do not disturb. Now you'll notice at the top of your screen on the left-hand side, we start to accumulate and collect points. This taps into that analytical part of our brain where we like to collect things like stars or modules or badges, or in this case, points. And we also start to collect the correct answers. So you'll see as we carry on, as we collect 3 answers in a row, we also get what's known as a combination bonus. So let's see what's next. The next part of this module is what we call an information text module. This is a reflection on what we've previously learned just to make sure that we are instilling and embedding that learning. And the next task will take us to our next mini game, which we see as a multiple choice question here. Again, the question is in the top third of your screen. Should the coachee know how carefully you're listening to them? And as you read through each one of these answers, again, each of them could potentially be correct, but we know that there's one correct answer here. I'm going to give you a hint. It's this top one here. It says, yes, active listening communicates that the coach is paying attention. So let's select that one and see what happens. So again, you'll notice that we start to accumulate even more points, and we got our combination bonus. So an additional 100 points there for that one. Now the last mini game I want to show you today is what we call our bubbles mini game. Now this is a really unique design game. This forces us to be very active in our thinking and understanding which of these plausible answers could be correct. So I'm going to leave that up there for a moment. The question is, good listening should take into account which of these factors, and let's see if you can pick out the correct ones. If you selected body language, let's see if that's the correct answer. Excellent job. Another 100 points for you. Did any of you select emotion? Excellent work. Another 100 points. Down here at the bottom, it says we have 2 more answers to select. If you selected pace of speech, well done to you. That's another 100 points. And the final one, if you selected loudness of voice, excellent job to you. Well done. We got every answer correct in that mini game. Now, I could go on and show you every mini game, but I don't want to give everything away, and I want to make sure that we have enough time to get into our next game-based solution, which is our behavior scenarios, to put all of this learning together.